I sat down with Professor Glyn Morgan to preview Sunday's first round. I started by asking him whether or not Mélenchon has a serious chance to make it to the second round.
Yes, I think he does have a chance to make it into the second round. The polls suggest that there are about anywhere from 15 to 20% of the people haven't yet decided. So we don't know what's going to happen, and it's going to be a real surprise whatever happens on Sunday.
If you had to pick one person who wins this entire thing, who do you think it is?
I think Macron will win. I think that he is the establishment candidate. He is the candidate that is pro-EU. You have to remember that 72% of the French people in polls say they're in favor of the euro. It will be a great surprise if he doesn't win. I think that if either Mélenchon or Le Pen win, it will be a huge blow to Europe. It will, in the short term at least, wreck the economy, wreck the currency. It will be a huge change.
Now, you said the French people, 72% support staying in the EU. If either Le Pen or Mélenchon win, do you think the French people stand in their way, or do you think they get what they want?
I think they will both call something like a referendum. And I think the shock represented by Mélenchon is less to the EU than to the French business sector. He's calling for huge increases in taxation, and that's going to lead to capital flight.
And with elections coming up in Italy, in France, and Brexit now getting underway, what do you think the future of the EU looks like, and will they be able to keep all of these pieces together?
That's a very good question. I think that they will keep the pieces together, but they are going to experience 5 years of difficulty. I think one important thing to note about Le Pen is that she appeals to the young, which is a big difference from Donald Trump and from Brexit. The young people feel they've been screwed by the system, they're not doing well, and there's a youth vote with respect to Le Pen, which is new, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with that.
Do you think there's a greater chance that even though if Europe is able to keep the European Union together, we see more of a crackdown on border crossings and immigration, specifically from Middle Eastern and Northern African countries?
Yes, I think if Le Pen wins or even Mélenchon wins, we will see a turn towards nationalism. I think the fundamental divide in Western democracies now is between liberal globalists on one side and nationalist protectionists on the other side. Donald Trump represents the victory of the national protectionists, and if Le Pen or Mélenchon win, it'll be another victory for the national protectionists.
Our thanks to Professor Glyn Morgan. Always a pleasure having him on.
The best.